Hello, this video is going to show you how to add numbers to the map as well as fix little mistakes. We're actually going to fix some of the smaller mistakes that you might have run into when making your map outline. For example, here I've got this little path here that's too long. Let's zoom in. Nice. I'm going to use the direct selection tool. The V key is a selection tool. The direct selection tool is a little different. Let's talk about that for a sec. Direct selection tool, if I click on something, we'll select the entire object, the whole path, and click away. If I hit the A key instead, it switches to the direct selection tool, and now when I click on something, it doesn't necessarily select the whole thing. I can just select the end of something. And that's helpful for a situation like this where I've got this line that's too long, and I want to quickly fix it. So I'll just click on the anchor and drag it. I'm holding on shift too, and that will fix that line. I've got another short line here. I'm going to click and drag to the end. And that's it. Control minus to zoom out. And I'm going to pan across by holding on the space bar. I think we're pretty good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. The only thing we're going to do now is add numbers, and we're going to do it in a smart manner. I'm also noticing too, for all you map heads out there, remember we got like some classrooms in the LRC we need to label. Like so, I'm going to hit escape. I think there's an office right here. And I'm going to hit escape again. There's another office like off to the side. Yes, all numbered. Okay. What should we do next? Numbers. How do we add text? Like in Photoshop, we're going to use the type tool. There's a little T for that. Now, with the type tool, let's just make one nice number here. And let's start in room 234. Notice when I click, it gives me this Latin text, lorem ipsum. I'm going to actually escape from that. And I'm going to hit delete. And before we start writing text, we should make a new layer. So if you don't have your layers window open, go to the window menu. Choose layers. And I'll make a new layer by clicking next to the trash can. It's this little layer icon there. Okay. And I'm going to double click on this layer and call this numbers. All right. And now I'll grab the type tool and click in where room 234 is. Again, I get this Latin text, lorem ipsum. I'm just going to type in 234. So lorem ipsum is like a filler text that graphic designers use a lot. And it says something in Latin. I'm going to grab my selection tool and drag it into place. Okay. Boom. Nice. Now, this is too big and too something. I don't know. Too cartoonish. So I'm going to edit this text. I'm currently using Cooper Black. And I'm noticing that I don't have... Oh, yeah, I have a character. So in the properties panel, you have a character window. You can also find the character window by going under the window menu and choosing type and then character, or Control T. Whoops. I'm going to escape that and hit delete. Grab my type tool and we're going to edit this text. So I'm going to double click on my text there. And here is the character window. Let me scoot this up. So if you already have the properties window open, you should be fine. Character, I'm going to change to something different. I'm going to choose a nice sans serif font. What is sans serif? I can tell you this is a serif because if you look at my 2, there's that little curly Q thing. If you look at the 4, there's that little curly Q coming off that. This is a sans serif, so there are no decorative serifs is what they're called. Serif, S-E-R-I-F. So this text that you see here, this AIGDT, would work. Bank Gothic? Nah. So I don't know, pick one. Pick something you like. A quick way to preview a bunch of different fonts is to select a font, and you want to highlight this text, and then use the down arrow, and it will quickly cycle through fonts and show you a preview of what your font will look like in this window. Sans serifs are the more modern looking fonts. That's a little too cartoonish. This has a serif because there's a little thing there, little thing hanging off the edge of the number. I'll give you a tip. Arial is Century Gothic, definitely sans serif. And actually, I like this, so I'm going to start with Century Gothic, and while it's still highlighted, I'm going to choose regular and see if there's a bold font. That is very nice, very clear, kind of industrial looking. And I'm thinking it's probably too small. I use the arrow key to move that down. A quick way to change the size of this is to drag on a corner after you've selected it. You could also use the type tool, so I'll show you two different ways. First, drag on a corner, holding down the shift key. Shift will keep it nice and square. If you use the type tool, you have to come down here and select the text by double clicking on it and then choosing a different font size. I think I'm going to start from there. 234, baby. Best room number in the on campus, that's for sure. I'm going to visually center it with my arrow keys. Nice. Okay. So now, Mr. Zbarth, do I have to type this out 100 times? No. Well, you're going to type, but you're also going to do a lot of editing. So I find the easiest thing to do is to take this text once you're happy with it, and once you think it's going to work for the other rooms, for most of the other rooms, so maybe you check, drag it over here. I have a pretty big class. So how will this look in the other rooms? Yeah, there you go. So I'm actually thinking that's too big now that I've put it in this other box here. And if I look at my map here, that's pretty good. Okay. Either way, I think I'm happy with it now. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to click and drag on this while holding down the Alt key. So hold down Alt, click and drag, and we're just going to start placing this in different places. Maybe use the guide tools to guide you. So what I mean by that is next door to me is Mr. Heil's room. I probably want these two pieces of text to be lined up. So while holding down Alt, click and drag, and you see that purple line, we'll drag it in a straight line. If you accidentally move, you can hold down Shift and it will keep it straight for you. Boom, done. Hold down Alt, click, drag. These spots are going to be a little different. Sure. This is the LRC. For the really small classrooms, I'm not going to change anything yet. So that feels a little off now. You know, nothing is automatic. The computer is dumb. You are smart. Mr. Zbarth is old. What difference does that make? If I can figure this out, you guys can. Sure, I've been doing this for 40 years, but hey, I started somewhere. I'm going to hold on the Alt key and just keep dragging around. So if it doesn't fit in one of these boxes, I just ain't going to do it. Now, in this case, I have this nice even 6-box layout grid thing. I'm going to Alt drag. I'm going to spend some time getting these lined up nice and in the middle of my boxes here. And I am going to copy 2 at a time here. Because if anywhere should be nice and straight, it's these 6 boxes. So from here, I'm going to select one text box, hold down the Shift key, select another text box, and then I'm going to use the Alt key, drag down. Keep it lined up. Hold down the Shift key. Boom. Hold down Alt, click and drag. Nice. Okay, I think you get the idea here. For the smaller ones, yeah, just Alt drag. It's too small. Now I'm gonna use. I'm gonna zoom in, Control plus, and I'll drag on corner, holding on the Shift key, and then use the arrows to line it up. All right. Alt drag down here. Okay. You get the idea. I'm not going to do everything here for you. But I am now going to edit the text. So to edit the text, we're going to use the type tool. T for type. And now I'll just come in here. I'm going to look at my map. It's down on my desk. This is room 210. I'm going to highlight the 3 and the 4. This is room 212. So this might be a little tedious, but welcome to... I don't want to say that. I'm just not going to say it. I'm sorry if this is tedious. I try and make things enjoyable, engaging. That's why I introduced the A+ project. I'm just grooving on this. This is room 240. Somewhere in here is wrong. Somewhere in here is like the athletic office. So I'm just going to write ATH. Okay. Later we're going to print all this and go out and go for another walk. Yeah. LRC. So you do not need perfection, but you can do a lot of the work right now. Nice. 234 is okay, but 232 is incorrect. 232. Like so. 231 and 230. 231. 230. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to stop here. You're going to keep going until you get all the numbers in all the rooms here. Now to turn this in, you're going to create a PDF file out of this. Super easy. You might want to save your project first. File, save. From there, we'll go File, Export. No, I think you can do File, Save As. Yes. So I did File, Save As, and I chose under Save As Type. We're going to choose Adobe PDF, please. Adobe PDF. And this is what you're going to turn in. Put this on the Documents folder. Sure, Documents. Call this Map with Room Numbers and click Save. So that is the PDF that you will turn in for this assignment. From here, I'll be able to print them for you. And then we'll go around and fix the mistakes. Take your time. Try not to get too frustrated. I'm going to stop this now. And I'll see you next week.